Good evening. Welcome to the Sunday night webinar. Hey, it's December 3rd. Uh, I'm Gene Coldago.
And I'm Roger Carroll.
And Roger is probably going to start the record. Oh, it's being recorded. I see that. And I've even added a little holiday spirit to our opening screen there. I put a little holly up there or something to make it look a little nicer. Hey, I got a couple of things to show you. And the first thing that I'd like to show the people tonight is this. It has to do with something that Raj and I kind of were learning a little bit about at a really exciting webinar that we attended a week or so ago. And it deals with with websites and things like this, and making them more accessible. The ADA, what is it? I can't remember exactly the term, but basically it's to make it accessible for people with handicaps. And there's going to be more coming out on that. Our school website is going to be going through some changes in January, and then there'll be also some changes made to make the site more accessible for for people who have handicaps such as sight or even hearing and things like that. I've noticed just in the past couple of weeks that a couple of the sites that I go to have been making some changes. One that puts up blogs that you can click on and then go and listen to the blog has added a transcript down below of the blog. So you can read it if you are hearing handicapped. So things like that. And brings up the point that while I was doing this, I ran into this. Maybe I'm going to run into this. Come on. Okay, this, and I don't know if you can see this yet. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger, maybe. I was working with, maybe I'm not going to make it a little bit bigger. Let me see what I can do here. Let me get out of this. But I was working with, why is this not getting bigger, Raj? Anyhow, let me make it a little larger here. Now, I was working with a picture on PowerPoint, and I had just updated my Office 365, and I saw this message, automatic alt text. And what that means is that they are now adding some text to each picture to describe what it is for those people who perhaps have the handicapped and can't see it, who have vision impairments. Okay, so it's been automatically added in PowerPoint now. The only thing is, I also found out that they don't do a really good job of it. So here's kind of how it works. I messed around with it a little bit. Let me see if I could go home. I'm going to insert a picture. Let's say if we're going to insert just a picture here. And where is the one I want? There it is, PDF JPG. And I hit insert. It's going to be a rather large picture. But down at the bottom of the picture, notice it adds alt text. And it says, a screenshot of a cell phone. Well, that's not really a very good description of this particular picture. So it has tried to do that. But what we should be doing now, and what they're recommending that we do, is that whenever we add, if we're going to use PowerPoint, and especially if this PowerPoint is going to be shown publicly, put online, something like this, that each picture should have some alt text describing in text what it is. If it's not very good, which it isn't very good, done automatically, what you can do is click on the picture, and notice it'll say Edit Alt Text in the box, and a box will open on the right, and you can just go in here and tell what the picture is or give a description of it. This is very similar for those of you who build or are working with websites with Blackboard. Whenever you add a picture to your website, it asks for some alt text as well. So it looks like Microsoft is also doing this, trying to get ahead, with the coming requirements for ADA and adding the alt text. So just to show you that if you run into that, it's kind of interesting, I thought.
Well, we know that working with our teacher web pages, if you're putting in an image anywhere,
that's exactly,
you can't insert the image unless you fill in that box for the alternate text.
Exactly. Right. And it's very similar. Yes, exactly what I was trying to say. You said it much better than I. Thank you.
Well, I think we also need to, I'm sure we'll probably get there with some training or some more.
Oh yeah, I think there's going to be more of that. But I just noticed that today.
You're pointing out that, that this alternate text that Microsoft, this PowerPoint image is suggesting, isn't really going to help anybody, and it really, I don't know that it's misleading, but it's not accurate.
I did 2 or 3 of them, and none of them were really good. I'll be honest with you.
I mean, there have to be some parameters for what's minimally accepted alternate text.
Yeah. Now this one, again, I'll just show you again. This was a. Let's see if I can get to my pictures. Okay. Yeah, see this one right here? It's a little picture. I don't know if you can see it. It's a picture of the webinar. This one we use. But the alt text says, a picture containing wall indoor sitting. Boy, that's not real good either, is it? So that's, I think they have made a beginning, but they've got a ways to go. But again, it does point out the fact that we are going to have to be a little bit more concerned about providing alternate ways of viewing our documents, our PowerPoints, our websites, and things like that coming up. So that's coming down the line, I guess, right? Right, Raj? Okay.
It is, yes. It's in the line. It's on its way.
Yeah. Now, one thing that I noticed when I was, and let's see if I can go back here. The one picture that I had put on before was going to lead into the next thing, but I'll do it without that. It's just a reminder. This week, in some of 2 of the websites that Raj and I, get information from, I noticed references to websites that dealt very efficiently with PDFs and converted them to Word and Word to PDFs and all these things so you could have all of this. And it brought to mind the fact that we don't need those. And just again, for some of you who may not be aware of this, Microsoft Word handles PDFs beautifully. Okay. Let me do this first, just to show you something. I screwed up. Okay, I'm not even sure if I have. Anyhow, here is a PDF on my desktop. This is a PDF. And by the way, if you have Windows 10, Windows 10 builds a PDF reader into Edge. Okay, so this is actually Edge, and it builds it in, but this is PDF, and of course, as a PDF, you can't change it, you can't do anything with it. However, if you needed that document, but you needed to change it, you could do it very easily simply by going, let me just get to my desktop where I have it stored. There it is. Clicking on a PDF. Open the PDF. You'll get this little message saying it'll take some time, and it does take a few seconds to change. And all of a sudden, this is the PDF, but now you'll notice that this Microsoft Word document, it's a Word document. You can go in and make changes. And this is one of the capabilities of Microsoft Word, that you can take PDFs, open them up. You'll find out that there are, and I wanted to show you, a few little things. You know, it says it may not come through perfectly, and it doesn't at times, but darn it, it does a pretty good job opening up the, you know, the PDF, and it looks very, very much like the one that, actually, I think I downloaded this from Scholastic, okay? So, if you have PDFs that need changed, if you need to work with PDFs, certainly can use Microsoft Word. All you need to do is go to File, open them, you know, open, and open it just as if you were opening a Word document, and it will open it. When you go to save, you can save it as a Word document now, or by clicking down a little window here, you can go down and change it back to a PDF and save it as a PDF in your changed format, however you changed it. It's pretty simple, pretty simple. And I just wanted to, you know, remind people, I don't know how many people are familiar with that. Now, I got somebody asked me something this week, and I had to go in and find out myself. I remember a long time ago when we were showing people how we could put bookmarks on our desktop. And if you don't know what I mean by that, is that, like, if you wanted to open a certain website, you could put a little bookmark here, just like one of these, and you just click on it, and you could go to the web. And you can do that with Chrome, and it's very simple. You can do it with the other browsers too, but I just thought I'd like to show you real quickly how you can do it with Chrome. Now, for example, this is a website that I go to quite often, Microsoft Education. Now, rather than opening Chrome, then clicking on this, I can cut out one step very easily. In order to do that, though, what you need to do is go over to the right. There are three little dots there. And if you click on those three little dots, a window will open with some directions, and you have to get down to one that says More Tools. And if you go down to More Tools, you'll see one that says Add to Desktop. If I'm going to click on that, it says Add to Desktop. I have messed with it and recommend that if this Open as window is checked, uncheck it. I want to open it in the browser as a browser. And I just hit Add. Now let's just see if I go to my desktop. There it is right there. And what's nice is I can just click on it and I'm there. Now, you might want to do that for some of your students at school if you have certain websites that you want them to go to. I know it'll take some time if you have to do it with all the computers, but you could create those bookmarks right on the desktop, and They can just click on them and go to the website. And in fact, if you want, if you're saying, oh, my website is a little too messy, what you can do is drag it on down to the taskbar. And it's now sitting in the taskbar. And it'll work there just as well. So that's just, just another little thing that somebody had asked me about that. They were wondering how they could put those on there, because they used to do that with Explorer, but you can do it with Chrome just as well.
Well, we used to call them favorites, or depending on what browser you're using, they're favorites, not bookmarks, or shortcuts.
Yeah, shortcuts onto the but putting them on the desktop. Yeah. The last kind of thing I have real quickly is something I have no idea where it came from, Raj. Okay, but it's kind of cool. And again, it's in. Oh, I don't want to use that one because I might empty the turn off the. I don't want to turn off the webinar. That's my webinar running. Okay. It's probably not going to be up here. Okay. That's very strange. Oh, I know why. It's because I can't see all of these things. There is an extension that is pretty cool that I recommend. It has to do with, let's go to my, how we go there, we go to the, okay. It's called Office Online. Okay. And it's pretty good. You'll see that it's installed on mine already. I have no idea how this got on my computer, but it just showed up there one day. And I'm trying to find out how I can get to mine. Because what I have is, I have so many things here that it's not showing up on this particular computer. How do I get to my extensions, Raj? I'm going to have to find it. But let me do this. What I recommend is that you do go there, add the one from Microsoft Corporation. You'll notice that there are a couple by other companies. Don't use those. And it's really terrific. Now there's my manage my extensions. Okay. Now, and strangely enough, it's on my other computer, and I can't find it here. Oh, there it is right there. Okay, it's Office Online. Okay, and why can't I put it up there? Why isn't it there? I'll tell you what, Raj, I'd like to show it, but I want to make sure it's up here. And what's happening is, because I'm working on another computer, the screen is not big enough to show all the extensions I have. I'm going to have to adjust some of these. So why don't you take over while I do a little bit of adjustment, and then I'll come back and show
you. Just for my understanding, the Office Online, you're talking about Office 365?
Yes. It's really cool.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's why I'm kind of frustrated right at the moment, because I can't get there. I don't know why it's not popping up. Okay, because see, and again, it's I'm going to switch over to you, and then I'll put it up there, and then I'll show it to you in just a few minutes.
Okay. Where is the drop down you just had in Chrome? Manage my extensions.
That's an extension I put in.
Okay, so click on that.
Yeah.
And the one you're talking about,
right
Office
there,
Online.
Office Online.
Can't you just drag and drop that to the top of the list?
I tried. No, see, it doesn't work. Add, no, it says add. See, it doesn't do that. I don't know why. Okay, I'm sorry. I feel really stupid because it's on my other computer right at the top there. It just showed up one day. I have no idea. I don't remember installing it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is do this while you uh, do a little talking, and then I will come back and show it to you with a little bit of luck because it's well worth this one I recommend putting on. I'll be right with you. And with you at that, I'm going to make you the presenter, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't even know what I'm looking at here. Let's see.
You should be looking at your screen. I see questions, and now it says good evening.
Okay,
and,
I'm going.
Okay.
A couple of different things here. Okay. A couple of little tidbits for a number of things. Came across a number of articles. Of course, it's been a couple of weeks since we've been online here in our webinars. But I wanted to take a look at some things that kind of like a couple of fun things. One thing I'm looking at is, and we mentioned it a while back, about some themed Kahoots for Halloween, for Thanksgiving, and so on. And in my Flipboard that I'm keep throwing things in, I wanted to show you this. There were a number of things. Well, we've looked at some of these. It involved some word games and things, and so I'm looking at like I say, the free versions of all of these things, and Kahoot and so on. But let's take a look at. I'm going to go into my Start menu, and here are a couple of things that you might find useful, might find fun in your classroom, depending on the grade level and so on. Maybe for vocabulary building, something you could, I'm not sure what kind of access the students are getting on their one-to-ones in your classroom. So we'd have to take a look at that. Maybe you could try it out and let me know. But basic word games, and I think Gene is as well. We love word games. And some of the basics here from Windows 10. Notice it says Xbox 2, but I'm not. I'm loading up. I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to load up from the Microsoft Shop, this little shopping bag at the bottom of the page, and it says sign into your account, whatever. I'm not going to do that, so I say not now. And it loads the game. I'm not going to even sign into an account here. I'm going to continue as a guest. And here are some basic, probably fairly familiar word games that I think would translate very well on a smartboard. Maybe kids could play them individually on their devices if we can get them there, and then you could do them as a whole group instruction. Maybe doing some theme things there with jumbles and Wordament. It's kind of a fun game. Requires a little bit of skill on how to play these things. I think I'm still on level 1. I played this in a different version, and basically it's a game where let's okie dokie, click anywhere to continue. There's anywhere, and you're trying to make words, and here are like basically 4 or more letter words that you gain points for. And I think you've probably all played some variations of this. And the nice thing is it fairly familiar format here. You can change the different arrangement of the different letters that you have to work with. These are the ones that I made so far, just trying this out. Let's see. I already have lost. Let's help me out here, Gene.
Oh, I'm
T.
sorry. I'm trying to work on something else in the
I
background
think
here,
I
Rod.
got that. Okay, I got a 5-letter word. Uh, get double points, but it's a fun game. Let's say that took me to a new level. As you can see, it's loaded with rewards for when you go to the different level and install your blocker and 2 club. I'm not going to do any of these things, but what I wanted to show you really is how to get to these games, and these are part of Microsoft 10. If you recall, ages ago with Windows early edition, they came with some built-in games and some built-in routines. In fact, you may go all the way back to Minesweeper and some of those early things, but basically they were little gimmicks to get you to use a mouse and how to maneuver on the screen and so on. But what you do is, like I pointed out to you, I have these on in my start menu here, and I got to my start menu from a list of all of my programs, and I got them there by going to the Microsoft Store, and I simply typed in Word Games, and this is the first thing that came up. Here's another one I loaded down too. It's 4 picks, 1 word. It's kind of interesting, but I think it might be a little, maybe for some little higher grade level, or maybe it wasn't in tune with it. And there's a lot of variations of these games around too. But the ultimate Microsoft Ultimate Word Games, they show up here. There's a basic rating for anyone 10 years old and older. And here is what you saw on my screen previously. These are, let's say, a collection of the games that I did download and install. Right now it says this product is installed, and then I can just simply click play. If I go back and let me see if I can do the search, and I'll search again. Word game. Let's say a word search game. I don't think I've got that one installed, so I'll click that. If you're in the Microsoft Store, it'll say get it, and it'll give you the price here. This little plus usually indicates there are what very common now with apps and everything is there are in-app purchases. Very often it's for added features to the game. Some of them will allow you a certain limited number of plays, and then if you run out of lives or time or chances, you can purchase additional chances for $1, $2, whatever. This is where you could get in trouble if you're working with a kid. My grandkids often approach me with, Papa, what's your code number or whatever? And what are you doing now?
Yeah.
But
You'll get the bill. Don't worry about it.
oh yeah, what money? I didn't see any money. Yeah, okay. But anyway, you can say get them here. But what's nice is these are fun, different things. What I don't know is what kind of accessibility you have in your classroom to get these. We're looking at my school district laptop, but obviously I'm not in the district, so nothing's getting blocked here. You on your teacher level device probably have the same access that I have here. Basic word search, but what's kind of fun with this is obviously you're not doing it with a pen or a pencil, circling the letters and so on. You're doing it online, which gives kids a little different experience. You're highlighting the words, diagonally up, down, backwards, whatever, as you progress through the game. And it's got some screenshots and so on. I'm going to go back to more of the searches. And you can, again, this is in the Microsoft Store. You can look at all of these, and then when you download it, let me go back to, I can go back to the word search. I want to show you what happens with that. Let's search again. Word search game. Let's get that. Okay, let's see how fast my Wi-Fi. Actually, I think I'm Ethernet here, so it should be fairly quick. When you get the device, it's downloading. Oh, it's going to take a second or two. It's going to show up in your list of programs. Oh, this isn't too bad. Yeah, it's a fairly small game by other game standards, so it's working. And notice over here on the right, it says you want to launch the game. Or here's another option that you're probably seeing and starting to use a little bit more in working with Windows 10. It says pin to start. Well, that's not your home screen. That's not your taskbar. That's over here. These are your start menu items. And these over here, and we've pointed this out from time to time, are all of your apps, programs, whatever you want to choose to call them. And here's the word search. Notice here, if I right click on it in the list here, or if I pin to the start here, I want to show you that. Right now it's in my program list. This is my list of start programs. So if I say right click, pin to the start menu, now it's clear the list, pin to the taskbar, it's going to show up down here, or I can also pin it to my start menu. Programs in here, which again represent your start menu, you have to open this or press that little Windows somewhere button on your keyboard, bring these up, and then when you click over here, you can pin these more, pin to the taskbar, which is down here. So you can put them in several places. You probably you don't want to overdo what's down in your taskbar. So I'm not going to pin that here. The reason, any program that's open will appear in your taskbar. And any program that's open that you want to keep in your taskbar, you right click on it and say pin it or unpin it from the taskbar. Notice I unpinned it and it's back up here. If I click on it, it will start the program and so on there. Just it's a little different from working previously with the earlier versions of Windows 10. Now this is how they're starting to work. I had just simply downloaded this and I say, okay, now I say pin to start. I'll look over here. Now it appears in this listing over here where previously it wasn't. So I can launch it from here, I can launch it from here, or if I right click and say pin it to my taskbar, I can launch it down here. So some of my favorite programs, ones that I use most frequently, like the Chrome browser, Word, Excel, OneNote, PowerPoint, and so on, I put on my taskbar all the time. That way you don't have to go searching for them. Kind of what Gene was trying to show us with the Chrome extensions in his browser over here as well. So that's that same idea. But basically, I'm getting a little further away from where I wanted to be, was to use the, let me close that completely, go back into the Microsoft Shop, the Microsoft Store. This is where you can load and find programs, apps, and things in school, out of school. A good many of them are free to sample, to start. Some of them are free if they don't have that little asterisk next to the word free. Or if some of them are paid, you go through that exercise as well. I haven't come across any, and that sometimes Gene and I, we subscribe to some things that, a lot of these companies will offer them at reduced rates. Notice here, maybe because it's Black Sunday or whatever, reduced rates. Some of them will be free today but not tomorrow kind of thing. We get a lot of those on our smartphones, iPads, and so on. Notice here you can get an icon, a shortcut to Netflix. It is free. This one has a little asterisk, so that means there's going to be suggestions. They want you, to buy more and so on. But I wanted you to just remind you of some of these features. But the Microsoft Store, if now I have it pinned to my taskbar. If I unpin it from the taskbar, it's still appearing here because it's open. But if I close it, it's no longer in my taskbar. I would have to go over to my Start menu and look for the Microsoft Store over here. I can also pin it to my Start menu, which is here. So notice here again, over repeating this I'm sure, but pin it to the taskbar. That means it'll stay down here until they want something else in its place. I tend to overdo some of this. There's maybe more stuff here. Like I really don't want the Edge browser, but from time to time, it becomes a necessary evil. So I use my, pretty much my basic tools over here. Anything you'd like to add to that, Gene?
No, that's a good thing. It's just like going to the App Store in Chrome, kinda, and finding the little game. The one thing, and I don't think it will work. You find all these great word games. I'm not sure we can install them on the school computers, can we?
Well, I just did. These.
Oh,
this is my school computer.
All right, but I wonder if we could do that on the student computers too.
Good question.
Well.
Someone would have.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but it would be well worth. Some of these games, are very, they're good, good activities for students who are finishing up their work early or something like that. It might be a little extra for them. Yeah.
Create some competition if students were grouped and so on. And speaking of competition.
Yes.
I want to just point out this was an article, from a blog or something today. It's using Kahoot for homework assignments. And there's a Kahoot blog, and it goes into a whole lot of detail on this. But basically, I'm in my Kahoot. I'm signed into my account, and I'm looking at a Kahoot that I adopted, created, took,
stole. I'm sorry.
That probably closer to the truth, but no, it's out there on Kahoot. So if it's something you can copy and make your own, go ahead. But the idea is using this as make a challenge out of a Kahoot, and now you can make one up, make your own Kahoot from scratch, take, borrow, steal. Change it if it's something that you're doing in social studies or some science or even math or whatever. But for a homework assignment, you create a challenge out of it. None of the kids at home, and maybe with their parents and so on, they can give them the PIN number. They go and do this from home, and they don't have to have a school device. This can be done on a smartphone or on any device they have at home. Most likely, they have a smartphone in the home. Say the vast majority of people might have that kind of access for it. So as long as they have the PIN number, they can go and play this, give themselves their name, and with the little, say, classroom management, you can see who did it, who didn't. And one of the things that the blog points out with supporting this as an idea is that it's a way to have a nice engaging homework assignment, and that self-corrects. So you can go in and look at the results, see what it was if you're just simply going over a concept or a couple of things that you did in class and want to reinforce it with a homework assignment. This is a quick, easy way to do it. And you'll find some detail on the Kahoot blog there's actually a little video that takes you through everything I just kind of glossed over here on how to do just exactly this, to use a Kahoot for homework. So it's a nice, fun thing that I thought, hey, give them some homework, engage them a little bit. Parents can see that some of this technology transfers from classroom to home and vice versa.
All right. Yeah. Hey, Raj.
You did it.
I found out how stupid I really was.
Oh, do
so
tell.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay,
I'll be very glad to show you how stupid.
I'll change it over.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Hey, I just found out something. Remember I was saying I didn't have room up here for all of these extensions? Well, that's because, see the address bar? You can change the size of the address bar.
There you go.
I forgot that. Okay. And that's why this little extension, the Office Online, was missing. So I apologize for my stupidity. But anyhow, yeah, I have to admit, I did not install this extension. It just showed up one day and I clicked on it. And here's what's going to happen. The first time you click on it, it will ask you to log in to your school account. You know, like you would log in to go into your Office online, log in. And once you've done that, whenever you click on this, this is what you will get. Now, I will tell you this, for right now, I've logged into my personal account because it was just a little bit easier to show you, but these are all the online programs that you can get to. It will show you a list of a number of the recent programs that you've worked with, then that you've saved into your OneDrive. And if, for example, if you wanted to get to your OneDrive account, just click on that. And there's my OneDrive. Click here again. If I wanted to work on, say, the webinar intro slide, this is an online. See, notice it says PowerPoint Online, and there it is. I really like the ease of having it up there. You know, you don't have to log in, go into, go up there and, Microsoft log in and so forth and so on. It's right there. And once you've logged in, it'll be there, whenever you open your Chrome. Any thoughts on that, Raj? I mean,
well,
I thought it was...
I've got that going, and I've also got it in my Chrome taskbar, whatever they call it, which I've always had it there. It's just,
yeah, right. Yeah.
And then when you could give me the screen for a second, I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Okay. Yeah, and then sure. There you go. Okay.
Just to clarify, here is my Chrome here, which when I click.
Oh yeah, you put it there. Yeah.
It automatically logs me in there. But up here is where this is the extension. This is not an extension here.
No, that's the
That's a favorite or a shortcut or whatever you want to call it. That logs me right in there. But here is what you were talking about.
Yeah.
There's the
login. Yes.
That's why I wanted the screen back, just to see. Here's the login, so you can. So you logged in with your Microsoft account.
Yeah, it was just easier
everybody,
for tonight.
For now you can use your school account and go through that login.
Absolutely. Proceed. Yeah, it was really, and I think that's right there, bam. Yes, you could use, and again, The one you have at the top of your thing is
Yeah,
also good.
I
Yeah.
gave that back to you now.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, and I'm just like I say, I'm here. So I just wanted to just show you that. Also, if you want overkill, uh, when you're at Chrome, you over here we have our app page, and well, I'm sorry, duh. Up here we have our apps page, and I have, you can add, just as Raj was showing, he went to the Microsoft Store and was showing you how to, like the games and so forth. You can go to the web store, and there are apps here that you can download. Some of them are actual little games that are installed on your computer. Others are basically links to web pages, like Typing Scout is a web page. But also, if you'll notice the top line here, you have your apps. This is another way of getting to your online items, okay? But it's, again, whatever is best for you, whatever suits you. So anyhow, that's pretty good. Also, I found out something, Raj, I didn't know. If you have, this is for your own personal use, everybody, uh, Spectrum, Time Warner, whatever the name is today, you can actually, if you have an internet connection and a TV, your TV connection, you can actually watch the television, almost all of your channels, right on your computer. There's a website there. It's called watch.spectrum.net, and if you just click on that, you can probably take me to the football game. Can you see that?
I see the app is loading NBC, WGRZ.
Yeah, there's the football game.
Yeah.
Anybody want? Okay. Hey, for the rest of the day, we're going to watch. No, but I'm just for the heck of it. I didn't know you could do that.
When you do this in Florida, what do you get?
It says you're not in your home.
And you have Time Warner there.
I have Comcast down there, so yeah, I use it.
Okay.
I can do that with Comcast, but yeah, you have to do that in your home. But it's kind of cool, if the kids are watching TV and you want to watch something, you can actually watch it on your television as well as on your pad and so forth and so on. Okay, I just thought I'd throw that in. Boy, oh boy, what a mess I have here. If I may, Raj, I'm going to have, and I don't know how I'm going to get there. Oh boy. I'm not sure if I have, no, I haven't. I'm going to give me 1 second, if you would, please. I'd like to get to my Flipboard that for December. There's an interesting thing coming up in Office. And I don't know if you've seen it. I sent you a thing on it, Raj, and it was just an article that I think that you may, that everybody may want to take a look at, because it might change the way. Boy, this it's taking me a while to get there, and oh, that's the wrong one. Okay, duh, he said. He's going to the wrong one now. Okay. Why are we not going there? Okay. What's happening is Microsoft is working on, let's see if I can find it very quickly, an update on what's coming next for Windows. This is kind of weird. All right. And the one thing that is interesting is a thing called sets. Have you heard about this, Raj?
No.
It's interesting. What they're working on doing is integrating the web browser right into the Office tool that you're working with. In other words, if you were, say, using Microsoft Word and you're writing a report, and you're searching for certain documents and so forth, I keep bouncing off that. I thought you can't see it now in here. There's a little video here that will give you an idea of it. But what happens is in Word, there will be tabs right at the top of the Word ribbon. And you can jump back and forth. You'll be able to integrate all of your work right into that one Word tool. And when you save it, you'll also save those those browser locations. So if you need to go back, you'll have them sitting right there, ready to go back. It's something that's coming up. I don't think it's been released yet. It looks really interesting, and they say it's going to create a seamless experience for people who want to do like research and things. So it's incredible. It looked really interesting. So I recommend, again, if you go to my web page, go to the Flipboard, it's the one right here, an update. Oh boy, keep flipping away from it. An update on what's coming up for Windows. Really interesting. Actually, here's another one, the same thing, and it just uses different terms. Microsoft's latest Windows 10 experiment running apps in tabs. Okay, it's the same thing. But you might want to, take a look at that. It's kind of interesting what they're coming up with to try to help integrate the whole Office 365 and the internet together. So I was just kind of impressed with that. Recommend you take a look at it.
It reminds me a little bit of what goes on in OneNote when the clipper and stuff, when you paste things into a Quick Notes or a OneNote page, it brings the URL with it, with the article, etc.
Yeah.
But I'm anxious to see what this will look like from within Word.
It looked exciting. I mean, that little video, I watched the little video, I went, whoa, it's going to take a little bit of a little bit of learning, but I think it'll be really good. I think and also you can, they were integrating into that. Your OneNote also could be sitting at the top in a tab.
Okay,
so you
excellent.
can open back and forth. You can have that open too. You just go to the top and click on these things. You don't have to minimize the Word and then go to your browser and so forth and so on. It's all there right at the top. Sounds good. Hey, you were talking about some games, and PBS has some interesting things, and they have some eco games here that you might want to take a look at. Just played it for a few minutes, and actually it's pretty good. I'm trying to think. They have educational standards and everything like that. Excuse me. Pardon me for 1 second. If I sneeze, I'm going to mute myself. But they have a number of different games here that.
Click on the Next Generation Science Standards.
Next Generation Science Standards. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Now, this is a second grade for this particular one. So I was going to say these are, for second, third, fourth grade, some pretty good games here. Okay. You can stream them. And I just saw that and I thought, wow, you might be interested in taking a look at that. That's, for science. There was, and again, just real quickly, there were a couple of things. Oh, yeah, there. I put this on here. How to keep students calm and focused during the holiday season. Things are starting to get crazy. So, you might want to do that. There's some other articles in here that, that I threw in. Uh, this was an interesting article. You remember more of what you read out loud. When we have students read, I remember years ago, when kids would be reading out loud and making the words with their lips, or saying the words silently to themselves. We used to tell them not to do that. That's not good reading. Well, they've done some studies and they're finding out that when students do that, they actually remember things more.
Not
So,
lip
okay.
sync it, but actually read it out loud.
You read it out. Well, yeah, because many of the times when the kids were doing that, they were saying the words to themselves very silently. Yeah, but just saying the words, it helps them to remember. Hey, lastly, I guess, remember those little, there's Larry, our guy. Actually, yeah, these are kind of cool. Choose your own adventure stories. Remember those books we used to buy, and here you read this and then you go to page 37. If you decide to do something else, you go to page 48. Well, there's a number of them right here that you can select, and he tries to give you a breakdown of what level or what type of student they're good for. But I've gone into a couple of them, and actually a couple of them are pretty good. They're different games, online games. Man, my mouse keeps moving around on me. I'm sorry. But again, there are any number here that you can get into, and maybe this might be fun. The Jamestown Online Adventure was kind of interesting. I messed with that for a while. And I mean, there are all kinds of different games here. Larry is a collector, right? And he's got, he's got a number of things. And these also might provide some great things for students to do if they're done with their work. Many of them come from good areas. The one down below, the Homicide Hunter, comes from the Discovery Channel. A lot of them come from PBS. The Mission US we've talked about before. And then, there are all kinds of great games here that you can find that students might enjoy exploring themselves, when they have some extra time or something like that. It's a good way to get students involved in some other things when they have the time. Wow, this has been a crazy night, Raj. Okay, hey, lastly, remember, you can make this bigger or smaller. Okay, dummy, I couldn't remember that. So, hey, it's just about that time, is it not? I'm seeing 8:59. So I want to tell everybody thank you. Hope you have a great week. I understand the weather is going to get a little nasty on Wednesday. Maybe we should pray for a snow day or something like that. But
what would that look like for us?
Every day's a snow day, huh? It's coming. It will come. But anyhow, have a good week, and we hope to see you next Sunday. We'll try to be a little more. I'll try to be a little more organized. Like I say, I had set it all up on my other computer and then jumped onto my Surface here, and I wasn't quite ready. So I apologize for that, and I thank you for joining us. Raj, any last?
No, there's a couple of things that I want to maybe try next week. Some new features within the webinar itself that might be interesting. David, we might be calling on you to try some.
Maybe we'll let you do it next week.
Well, you'll see. We'll see next week.
Okay, and with that, Thank you for joining us. Hey, have a great week, everybody, and we hope to see you next week.
Yep. Look for that follow-up email shortly, and hope complete the survey. And if you have any suggestions or things you'd like
Like,
us to dwell on or go back
great.
and go over again, please feel free to add them there.
Okay.
And other than that, we'll say good night and have a great week.
Good night, everybody.